When Noah Lyles won the 100-meter dash in Paris, it's pretty safe to say that almost the entire world was watching, and his victory was particularly shocking because he did it by thousandths of a second. But during that season, the 2024 season, that was not the first time that he won the 100-meter dash by thousandths of a second, because the first time it happened was during his first 100 of the season at the Tom Jones Memorial Meet, hosted by the University of Florida. I was there to watch it live on the finish line when he went 10.01 seconds, the exact same time on the 100th as Kenny Bednarik. The only difference was, on the thousandths, he got him, and that's how he got the victory. So don't get it twisted, the Tom Jones Memorial actually matters, even though it's essentially a college meet. If you happen to be a pro who showed up to run there, in their Olympic development sections, those races are more or less a glorified practice. But the funny thing about that is, in this current track and field world we're living in, the only thing that really matters is what you do at the World Championships, or for that matter the Olympics anyway. So every other race that you run, unless it's a national team trial, really doesn't mean anything. I mean, yes, we do have pro races where they pay you prize money when it's all done. You might even get an appearance fee. But nobody really cares what you do in those races if you don't take care of business at the Worlds, or for that matter, qualify to get there in the first place. And unlike all those other races on what we call the pro circuit, at the Tom Jones Memorial, it is a foregone conclusion that some of the best athletes in the world will be on the starting line. So I took it upon myself this year to look at the entry list before the meet actually goes off, because I knew I was going to see some big names when I scrolled through the list. But let me tell you, the field for this year's Tom Jones and the plot lines underneath it all are about as good as anything you're going to get this entire season. Once again, if you're not looking at a World Championship final. So this is a breakdown, an honest preview of all the Olympic development sections that are going to go down at the Tom Jones Memorial. And spoiler alert, Noah Lyles is still a part of it. However, I do have to get out in front of this. I'm just going off of the entry list. I didn't actually look at the heat sheets, and we all know that athletes do scratch and don't always show up when they're entered. Yet I'm also certain that there will be a future world medalist on the line for quite a few of these races. Not all of them, but quite a few of them. And you don't have to believe me, just see the field for yourself. It all starts with the women's 200-meter dash, where brand new Olympic gold medalist Julien Alfred will be the headliner. But you have to understand, she ain't running by herself. The field of women that she's going up against is Favour Ophelia of Nigeria, Daryl Nita of Great Britain, and Tamari Davis of America. Every single one of those women has raced Julien Alfred at a World Championship or Olympic final, and all of them have finished behind her on that stage. So I'm pretty sure they ain't coming to Tom Jones to repeat that performance. But there's very little they can do about it, because remember, Julien Alfred is still going to be on the line. And moving over to the men's side in the 200-meter dash, it's a very different narrative, but still a very compelling one. Because lining up in that event will be Matthew Boling, formerly of the University of Georgia. And he's going to be racing against Joseph Fahnbulleh, formerly of Florida, Cheikhna Traore, formerly of Penn State, and Udodion Wuzurike, formerly of Stanford. I'm bringing up the colleges for a reason, because all of these men are NCAA champions in the 200-meter dash. But none of them have a world or Olympic medal individually up until this point. But they're kicking off their season at Tom Jones, so who knows what's going to happen in the future. But if you're new here, I want to say thank you for even making it this far into the video. And I'm Coach Rob, the founder of SCARecruiting.com, where I rank the best track and field recruits across the entire nation. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comment section, because I try to read them all. And then there's the women's 100 hurdles, where brand new Olympic gold medalist Masai Russell is on the starting list. But she's going to be going up against Alacia Johnson and Grace Stark. Those are the same three women who just wore the red, white, and blue to compete for Team USA in the games. And on top of that, Tia Jones is also in the field, who, if you happen to be paying attention at Grand Slam Track Jamaica, she won the 100 hurdles on that stage, just saying. And there's a whole lot I could say about the men's hurdles and the 110s. But it all starts, and for the most part ends, with Grant Holloway, because he ran for the University of Florida, and he'll be back on the track again to defend his crown at the Tom Jones Memorial. But last year, he went 1-2 with Dylan Beard, and although he didn't make Team USA in 2024, he's continued tearing it up on the track this year. He ran incredibly fast indoors and just went down to Grand Slam Track Jamaica himself and won the 110 hurdles on that stage. So yes, I'm definitely taking Grant Holloway in that race, but I do expect Dylan Beard to at least make it look interesting. Again, as far as the women's 400 meter dash is concerned, at first glance, a casual track fan may not know what to focus on, but that's what you have me for, because Anna Cockrell will be on the starting line, fresh off of her Olympic medal in the 400 hurdles. And she's going up against Talitha Diggs, who is a former American champion in the 400 and NCAA champion representing the Florida Gators. And for what it's worth, Great Britain's Dina Asher-Smith is also going to be on the starting line. Although, I'm not really expecting her to win in a 400, just saying. But depending on who you ask, the main event of the weekend is going to be Noah Lyles versus Erriyon Knighton in the 400 meter dash of all events. As far as that is concerned, I get it. This race is more or less a workout for both of them. But I don't actually see it as just that, because Noah Lyles, he did want to run the 4x4 for Team USA in the Paris Olympics. Obviously, that didn't quite work out. However, if he really wants to be running 4x4s to get a shot at getting more gold medals, I think you probably got to run an open 400 in order to validate that status. And he really hasn't run one since high school, at least from what IAAF can tell me. So if he actually does line up and race, and I say actually because who knows, he might scratch. If he does run, I want to know what that clock is going to say. And Erriyon Knighton is not going to lie down, because he's already put down a 45.2 performance earlier this season. Yet after all that, it's definitely not a track meet at Tom Jones without mentioning the 100 meter dash. And on the women's side, at least going off of the entry list, because hey, that's all we got to go off of. Melissa Jefferson Wooden is supposed to be on the starting line. She's fresh off of an Olympic bronze medal in that event and a double sprint victory at Grand Slam Track Jamaica. But her training partner TT Terry is also on the starting list. The only woman who I was really looking for, and I didn't really expect to see her, but I was looking for, is, well, Sha'Carri Richardson herself, because that's the same training group that swept all the spots to get on Team USA in the 100 for 2024, and then ran their way into the final together. Don't get me wrong, there will be other fast women on the line, like Mackenzie Long, who made Team USA, and for that matter, the Paris final in the 200. But hey, I'm just giving you the headliners, and the women from Star Athletics, they are definitely the headliners, even without Sha'Carri. And then there's the men's 100 meter dash, which is a pretty loaded field if you're just going off of the starting list. But when I say that, what I really mean is a whole bunch of men who made USA Championship finals in the 100 are all going to be on the line. The two names that rise to the top of that list have to be Christian Coleman, and for that matter, Christian Miller. They both went 4th and 5th at the 2024 Olympic trials, but had very different paths in order to get there. As far as Christian Coleman is concerned, he was a world champion in 2019, who's been trying to fight his way back to winning another world championship medal from that moment all the way up until now. And last year at this time, Christian Miller was still in high school. He turned pro out of high school after the trials, but we haven't seen him compete at all from that moment all the way up until now. So I will be paying very close attention when he actually hits the track. Of course, I could tell you that Kenny Bednarek is on the starting list, who is perhaps the hottest sprinter in the entire world right now, thanks to what he did at Grand Slam Track Jamaica. But hey, whether he actually runs the race or not, who knows? Because he's going to be there at Grand Slam Track again, in Miami this time, putting in work in both the 100 and the 200. I am also aware that there will be 4x1s and 4x4 relays that will go down at the Tom Jones. I'm not previewing those races because, well, we don't really know who's going to be in those fields. For that matter, even when the fields get out there, whoever's actually running on those relays, they're just running relays. Whoever's handing it off to whoever's going to receive it, these aren't the same people who are going to represent Team USA anytime in the future. I mean, they might, but historically speaking, at least if you're talking about the World Championship Final, there's very little correlation between what Team USA is going to do in a relay, like at a Tom Jones, which you'll see when you get to that stage. But if you actually like track and field and really want to see the best athletes in the world compete, the Tom Jones Memorial is a pretty good opportunity for you to do it. I mean, the races technically don't mean anything, but that is actually one of the reasons why you can get some good ones. Because people can go out there and compete, and for the most part, act like it didn't even really happen if they lose. But the 2024 season has already taught us that if you can win at Tom Jones, you're likely going to be able to do it again when the entire world is watching. In the sport of track and field, race day is honestly the easy part, because all of the real work gets put in when nobody is watching. When you wear every day is training day gear, you can let the whole world know that your success in competition is not an accident. Order yours at scarecruiting.com/shop or use the link in the description below, and it always comes with free shipping. It's a huge support to me and this channel, so I can continue to make you more content like this. And remember, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.